All right, hi guys. I'm going to have you start on your whiteboards. And I just want you to write a few things that you notice about these two problems. They're already worked through both sides. I just want to know what's the same, what's different, what do you notice? What do you wonder? Okay, go ahead, pause the video, take some time, have a class discussion, and then come back to me. Okay, hopefully you pause the video because I'm going to keep going. Okay, so after you've had some discussion here, I'm hoping that you notice that when you're subtracting over here with whole numbers, we ended up needing to regroup. Because in this space, we have 3 minus 7 in the ones. But if we only have 3 ones, we can't take away 7. So we got to go over to our tens place, grab a 10, and bring it over to help us subtract using the algorithm. Okay? Over here, when I'm subtracting with mixed numbers, yet again, we had to regroup. And why was that? So in this case, we were working in 6. We started with 1. We did not have 4 to take away. So we ended up needed to regroup. So I go over to my ones position. Awesome if you guys had that similar discussion in your class. Good job. Pat on the back or high five. Okay. Okay. Let's get into it just a little bit more. So if I look at that 43 that I had showed you in that first problem, what is really happening when you're regrouping? Some people, a lot of people, are going to regroup and not even know the math behind it. And you know what? You're okay. You're making it. It's fine. Okay? But for you to understand what's happening when we subtract with mixed numbers, you might want to know the why of why. What is happening here? It's not magic, it's math. Okay? So 43. In the number 43, the 4 represents 4 tens, or 40. The 3 is just 3 ones. When I go over and I'm in the subtraction over here, when I go to regroup, I'm bringing 1 over that I took away, but it's not just 1. That was actually a 10. That was 1 10 that I brought over. So when I brought that over here, I see a 3 and a 13. That should be the same number as 43. Is it? Is 3 plus 13 equal to 43? No. That's because that's not a 3. That's a 3 tens. So check what I did over here. So I have 40 and 3 that make 43. But now when we regroup, we take a 10 from the 40, it becomes a 30. And we move it over to the 3. So now 10 plus 3 is 13. Okay? So now let's look what happens with mixed numbers. So over here, the one I had you look at before, when we regroup and we cross off the 3 and we put a 2, what are we bringing over? That's the question. Well, we're bringing 1 over, just like we brought 1 over right here. But this one was worth a 10. It was one of the tens. That's why 3 became 13, because we added a 10 to it. If I go in the fraction mixed number, I'm bringing 1 over. Is that a 10? It's not. That's just a 1. That's just 1. I'm bringing 1 over. So why did this 1 change to a 7? Why did it not just change to a 2? Because when you bring 1 over, you have to think in fractions now. And right here, we're working in not tenths, not 20ths, we're working in sixths. So when I bring 1 over, I have to think in sixths. How many sixths is that I'm bringing over? And that's 6/6. 6/6 is worth 1. So if I have 6 plus another 1, that gives me 7. So in my 3 1/6, when I rewrite that a different way, I'm going to regroup the 3. It becomes a 2. If 3 becomes a 2, I brought 1 over, but the 1 that I brought was 6/6. So what's my top numerator going to be? Not 1 anymore, but 1 plus 6, which is 7. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and have you practice regrouping, because sometimes you're going to have to do that when you have mixed numbers and you're subtracting. Okay? So I have another one for you to try. Start off with 5 3/8. Let's say you're working through a subtraction problem and you're like, oh no, I can't take away this amount from 3. You're going to have to regroup. So my 5, I take 1 away, it becomes 4. I'm working in eighths. Now my numerator is not going to be 3. Hopefully it becomes bigger, because that's the whole point. Okay? All right, go forth and practice doing that so that you're prepared for those spicier problems when you're subtracting. Good job, you guys. Hard things are what's going to grow your brain even stronger. If you just sit there doing easy stuff, it's not going to make those muscles any stronger. It'll make you feel good because you keep getting them all right. And yeah, but let's challenge ourselves. All right, let's do this. You got it.